We'd like to welcome you again to Pikeville Independent Schools Principals Forum. It seems as though each taping or each episode of the Principals Forum, we're waiting for a lull or for a decrease in the number of events or some of the exciting things going on at the schools in Pikeville Independent, and so far that hasn't happened this year. As a matter of fact, it seems like there's more and more activities occurring at both schools each and every day. And of course, with the holiday season coming up on us, it's an extremely busy time as we finish out this week just prior to Thanksgiving and the holidays. And in this episode of the Principals Forum, we have a new guest with us, Mr. David Thomas, Assistant Principal at Pikeville High School. Mr. Thomas, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Good to be here.
And of course, representing the elementary school, Mr. Robert Jones. As always, welcome to you. As I mentioned earlier, and we were just speaking off camera prior to the taping of this show about how many exciting things were going on at the schools and the number of accolades that our students had been receiving at both schools. Just want to say congratulations and thank you to the students and parents for continuing to represent Pikeville Independent Schools. And Mr. Thomas, since you're new and our welcome guest here at the Principals Forum, just like to begin with you. I know that there's several items that you have that you'd like to share concerning congratulating the students at Pikeville High School.
We'll start out with some good news, I guess. Of course, the winter sports are going to kick off here in November. Of course, practice started in October for many of the winter sports, and they all are getting together Thursday for a big picture day, so they'll kick that off. But let's back up a little bit to the fall sports. Again, we've talked about it before a little bit, but a great golf season, regional champs, and now some awards have come out at the end of the season from the Kentucky Golf Coaches Association. Will Branham, a senior, who also this past week signed with Morehead State University on a golf scholarship. Will was named the 11th Region Player Golfer of the Year, and his teammates, who had an outstanding season as well, four other players were made all-region teams. So Will Boyd, Noah Combs, Jacob Hamilton, and Devin Ramsey, and a lot of those guys are back for next year. So a big congrats to the golf team, and Brian Johnson, the golf coach, was named Golf Coach of the Year. So wow. A great year for our golf team. And then, as I mentioned, the winter sports kicked off, but the football team, of course, is still on a roll, and Coach Chris McNamee and his Panther football team will travel to Ashland Fairview for a regional championship. And it's been a few years since we've won a regional championship, so a lot of excitement in that area. And Ashland Fairview is actually 12-0, so we'll see where that goes. And on the flip side here with the arts program, chorus and band has got a big event scheduled in December, the winter concert, the chorus and band, but a member of the chorus, Devin Porter, all-state and chorus. So fantastic young man, very talented young man who was also a lead character in the play Sleepy Hollow. So other members of the chorus, all-county band, Devin Porter, Aaron Shepard, Katie Stafford, Katie Malone, and Evan Coleman. So some other kids recognized there. As you said before, a ton of events going on. Maroon Madness kicked off, the basketball. Both cheerleading squads were there, and both cheerleading squads have now won competition that qualifies them for the national tournament in Orlando, Florida. So a lot going on. And our junior high basketball program, the girls, I guess the last taping, Mr. Garris had mentioned that they were playing in the county championship. Well, they have won the county championship for the first time, maybe the first time in, I know, in the last 10 or 12 years. So a great accomplishment for Misty Prater and our junior high girls basketball program. A lot of great performances by young kids, which holds well for the future in many aspects of our school.
Well, I know that the junior high girls team, as you mentioned, won the county championship in basketball, and the boys football team.
Football team is also county champ. So again, coming up, we're having a great high school football year, and now with this junior high group to follow them up, looks really bright for the future.
And another congratulations, I guess, goes out to Coach Brian Johnson for he and the team just completing a victorious preseason tournament.
I think they lost one game here. They got beat by a Knox County team in junior high basketball, who was a previous state championship 7th grade group. So, and we played them really tough. So I think a good future there with the young players in basketball as well.
That's certainly exciting, and especially this time of year. I know that have several events coming up there within the alumni auditorium during the holidays, and again the week of Thanksgiving. The way our calendar is set up, we try to give families a week off the entire week of Thanksgiving. A lot of opportunities for not only the shopping, but simply just being with your family and having family activities. So again, we adjusted the calendar. This is the second year in a row that Pikeville Independent Schools has taken the week off, or the entire week for the week of Thanksgiving. Mr. Jones, I know that you're dying to share some of the accolades with students too at the elementary school.
Yeah, we, as you know, of course, been a grade school, we don't get the opportunity quite often to compete regionally, but we had the chance last week or a couple weeks ago to compete in the regional competition at the Expo Center for STLP, Student Technology Leadership Program. Our students, we had 3 groups who competed regionally there. There were several schools, all across the 15th region represented there. We had 3 groups who had their projects set up at the Expo Center. All 3 groups are regional winners, and all 3 groups are moving on to state level competition. And if it's okay, I'd like to share those names. Those students in grades 4, 5, and 6 were Ben Belcher, Adam Swafford, Chandler Belcher, Logan Blackburn, Evan Kimberlin, Brock Runyon, Raven Branham, Micah Clevenger, Amber Hamilton, Walker Hall, Colin Nowd, Macy Scott, and Evan Swafford. Those students were our STLP students who competed regionally and won. And it's always exciting to win regional championships, and they're moving on to state competition coming up next month. So we're really excited about that. And
those students will be recognized at the November board meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the opportunity to bring them over. I think they're going to bring their projects with them and show the board, what they won for. And it's exciting. Some pretty good stuff. We have some students who did a podcast, a news show. We had students who did a bus safety video along with Mr. Bart Williams, the transportation director, and we had some who mentioned some different writing techniques and things. So it's really good, and we're excited about sharing those projects with the board.
If you don't mind, and we're always complimenting Miss Marianne Prater at the high school and the news show, and now thankfully we need to say a huge thank you to Mr. Al Greenfield, the director of Pike TV, for now carrying those news shows on Pike TV. And of course you can go to their link. The shows are archived, as is this show, but we also have a news program at the elementary level dealing with the STLP. Could you share some of the podcast ideas or some of the productions or themes that they've completed at the elementary school?
Yeah, we do a podcast, with our, of course, it's an STLP group. They have the green screen, so to speak, as if you notice on the news, there's this, when they do the weather, they're normally in front of a green screen. They get the opportunity to practice that, and they compete different or complete different podcasts, on a monthly basis based on events going on in the school. They have some teacher features. They have interviewed me in the past and things, and it's really good because we're getting ready now through working with Miss Prater. I'm glad you mentioned Miss Prater at the high school. We're getting ready to actually form a union, so to speak, and have parts of the high school show along with some of of our own stuff. Like at the high school, one of the greatest compliments that I hear all the time is the show on Fridays that comes on, and we want our kids to have the opportunity to take part in that also. I've talked to Ms. Prater in the past, and we're going to work with our STLP students, and we're going to put together our own little production, along with some of the high school stuff to show at our school on Fridays also. So that's coming up. So that's a wonderful thing, and Ms. Prater's doing a great job, and we're excited to work with her. She's really involved in our school as well.
So these video productions are going on weekly, not just for the competition among the STLP?
No, it's something they're working on consistently throughout the school year. And we want to get that out there. We want to get them online. We want to get them, in our school, as far as, to give our students the opportunity to hear those podcasts and also work with the high school for a video production to be shown on Fridays also.
In following the theme of student recognition, the topic that we're currently on, I know that the elementary school's been extremely busy with some special nights this past week and the current week. Can you share with us what those special nights were and what occurred?
Yeah, absolutely. We, of course, as part of our comprehensive school improvement plan, our teachers and parents on that group decided that it would be good if we could reach out more and have some opportunities for parents to come in to our school and interact with their children as well as our staff. And we decided to have some themed family nights. We began with a family reading night. Coach Kelly Wells brought his basketball team over, Pike Bears, and that was a great night. We had
that's number one ranked in the nation, right?
The number one ranked team in the nation. Brought his team over. It was a real successful night. Last week in November, our theme was, of course, Veterans Day. We had a social studies night last week in which our students and their parents came in, and we had different activities, had some veterans set up with their medals, explaining the medals and the stars and things they received. Students had the opportunity to interact with real life veterans and exactly ask them questions about their experience overseas and in the war. It was a real emotional time for us there, and plus we took the opportunity to attend the city and the hospital and the county. I think Pike County had a production at the Expo Center last week, a veterans program. We took our entire school there for that program, and we also have our own Veterans Day program that we had last Friday on Veterans Day at Pikeville High School Auditorium, and that's an annual event. It was really people were bragging on our kids in the production. So we've had a busy week, and we're looking forward to into December. We have many things planned along the same line. So it's a busy time of year at the elementary school. Not to mention the academic part of it, but we have a lot of extracurriculars going on also.
Well, I know you've had separate musical and social studies night also just dedicated to those things just recently too this week. Yeah, we had a social studies night in which we recognized our veterans, of course, last week. So there's many things going on right now. Right.
I might mention the Veterans Day program. I'd like to compliment Ms. Cooley and the job she did with our Veterans Day program. We had a couple guest speakers, Jeff Little, of course, one of our own staff members who was a naval member, and then Basil Clark, who's the communication professor at UPike, a Vietnam War veteran, spoke at our Veterans Day, and our students did a nice job with that as well, so did want to mention that.
And one thing I want to mention coming up early next month, we have had the opportunity in the past couple of years to form a speech and drama club at our school. Miss Jennifer Cross also works with Miss Barbara Kelly, and we are having our first in the last few years that I know of. Our first production. The high school was gracious to allow us to use their auditorium or use the auditorium that's a district auditorium, but we schedule through them because we really appreciate that. But on December the 9th, which is on a Friday at 12:30, we're going to have a school production of a Christmas Carol. It's our speech and drama team in grades 4 through 6. And also there will be a parent and community performance on December the 8th, which is Thursday evening at 7 p.m. So we're looking forward to that. They're working hard right now getting ready, and it's great that we have people willing and to help, to get our students the opportunity to get on the big stage and perform. And it's a great opportunity. Like I said, it's the first one that I know of in a while, the first major performance that we've done actually at the auditorium. So we're looking forward to that. Again, it's on December the 8th and 9th, A Christmas Carol. We're looking forward to that.
Thank you. As if studying for rigorous classes were not enough, and being involved in extracurricular activities. At Pikeville Independent, we even ask students to go above and beyond that. And I know another component that both of you have been focusing on is community service, and students giving back to the community and trying to instill that sense of pride. I don't think that our community, or maybe the parents or our neighbors, realize how involved our students are. Could you just take an opportunity to share some ways that the students are giving back, or the ways that we're focusing on this? Mr. Thomas?
Well, again, kudos to Ms. Susan Huffman for her work with the Student Council. I'll touch on a lunchroom appreciation day. The council come in and honored our ladies with roses, and actually the student council members did the work in the cafeteria, served food, did some of the cleanup, and it was really touching to see that. We got some great ladies in there. Of course, Carolyn Smith, our supervisor, has done a great job with her staff, and probably the 4 or 5 ladies that have been there the longest, over 100 years of experience in our lunchroom, and they give individual service to our students. It's really amazing, the attention, and we tell kids that every year at the beginning of the year. We got better food than the elementary. They say that too, but at the same time, the service, the way they're treated in our school cafeteria is unbelievable, and that staff deserves, a lot of attention for that. But also, Ms. Huffman has had her council out. They participated in the HOT, or Helping Overcome Tobacco, Youth Conference at the YMCA. They're also going to attend a Parent Advisory Council. She's going to have them attend a board meeting. She's really got them actively involved. But as far as giving back to the community, they're collecting food, Thanksgiving baskets. They've collected the pop tabs to donate money to the Ronald McDonald House. They're collecting magazines for the Pikeville Medical Center. They're participating in Operation Christmas Child, and they're also collecting dough for Judy's Place. So a lot of students involved in those activities. Another thing that went on in the school area is the Scholastic Book Fair. Miss Murphy's had that. We had a little contest between classes who could sell the most materials for the Scholastic Book Fair, the books, and the 7th grade ended up winning that, and we're going to get the school will receive about $1,400 in free books for that. The 7th graders raised over $1,000 and nearly $1,100 in their fundraising. So a lot going on.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we don't want to date the program, but today is November 15th, America Recycles Day. We had the opportunity just a few moments ago, actually. Miss Kelly Scott from the high school brought her AP Environmental Science class over to our 5th and 6th grade, and we allowed them the opportunity to discuss with our students in 5th and 6th grade about recycling, the importance of recycling, and of course they brought some tokens for our students. That was a great project, and of course anytime you can teach that, it's important. And just as Mr. Thomas mentioned, it's amazing sometimes when you see how our students want to reach out. Even our small children will mention things. You see them in the hallway and they'll say, "Mr. Jones, can we do this or can we do that?" And it's kind of touching, because they really want to help. And we have several projects going on, but our main project every year during this time, of course, we recognize there are those who are in need, and we want to make sure our kids understand, and we think they do, that it's more blessed to give than to receive. We have the opportunity every year to bring in food items for food baskets. It's an overwhelming number of of food items brought in by our students. This entire week, the week before Thanksgiving, each day has a theme. I think I think today is instant mashed potatoes day. Yesterday was canned vegetable day. Our students bring in tons and tons of food, and all that food is put into baskets and are given to families who are in need. And our kids are really into that. They ask for that every year. They want to when it's time to do that. And to have a second or third grade child who comes to you and mentions that is kind of touching. We try our best to instill that in our children, and I'm sure our parents do the same. But to see it in real life work is amazing to see. They're really concerned about others, and that's a huge deal for us. We also do things with Judy's Place, and we try our best to teach them community service. And actually, sometimes they teach us a thing or two, really, if you think about it. But of course, those baskets will be distributed early next week.
And too, for our community members or our parents or guardians that may be aware of some child or family that's in need, if you would, if they're involved or enrolled at the elementary school, would you please have them contact Mrs. Dawn Rowe, our Family Resource Center director there, and our Family Resource Center contact at the high schools, Mr. Kevin Garris, if you're aware of a family or a student in need, because we've got so much to be thankful about, and we certainly want to make sure that everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, all those including our student body and family. So again, I just thank you for the leadership that you're providing and helping our students realize that how important it is to give and to give back to the community, and I applaud your efforts there. Now, in moving from student recognition to what's going on instructionally within the schools, I know that many times our community members think because our students have a day off and they're aware that teachers must report, sometimes they think that day is not as rigorous as compared to an instructional day with students. I'd like to give you gentlemen an opportunity to share what the typical day was like a week ago, maybe during an election day, or what was a planning day for our staff members at both schools, and kind of what work was accomplished there at both schools. Mr. Thomas, would you like to begin?
Well, let me say this. The second 9 weeks midterm just ended, so teachers have gotten all their grades on, and those reports went out, so parents can see exactly what's been going on in their classroom with the grades. And also attached to those report cards are the Explorer reports for test results for 7th and 8th graders, and for the 9th and 10th graders, of course, they would receive the plan. So those were also attached to the midterms, but they went out yesterday. So your son or daughter should have brought those to you Monday, November 14th. As far as the PD, our first half of the day was really devoted to looking at the Explorer and Plan and Kaplan test results. We met in a large group. Ms. Salmons covered some material, discussed some of the results. Then we, as a group, or I guess smaller groups, broke down into smaller groups and designed a plan to get together. So work out a schedule where teachers will be looking at individuals, working with students, individual scores, data analysis as a large group, and then of course looking at the test item analysis with each student. Each student will be filling out a form on talking about how they missed a question or why they might have missed questions, and then teachers working with them on how to improve their test taking skills, or improve in the content area that they're maybe not performing well in. So that was pretty much the first half of the day, and then the second half of the day we did look into teachers worked with analyzing and seeing where we are with our consolidate plan and some of the program review. So the second half of the day was with that. In our math department, Mrs. Bevins, Miss Belcher led a advanced Kentucky advanced program with the math, and then Mr. Brady and Mr. McNamee did an outstanding job with the writing and the practical living. So I also got to attend the social studies department, and there was a great discussion in the social studies department, PLC group. I think the PLC groups are really providing a great opportunity for younger teachers to be mentored by some of our elder statesmen in our school system. So, but some great discussion in the afternoon session.
And again, for those community members unaware of the acronym PLCs or Professional Learning Communities, of course, the teachers are divided into groups at the high school level within subject areas or within those subject areas to focus on, as Mr. Thomas just alluded to, the test results that we have. And of course, Pikeville Independent goes one step farther by giving the Explorer 2 years and the Plan test 2 years. The Explorer test is given to both grades 7 and 8, and the Plan at grades 9 and 10. And again, the whole goal there is to move students further along on that continuum of becoming college and career ready. And again, Mr. Thomas, I need to say congratulations to you and the staff, because at the last board meeting this past month, read a letter from the commissioner congratulating our school district on being in the top 10 school districts in the Commonwealth regarding college and career readiness. Again, there's 174 public school districts across the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and currently Pikeville Independent Schools ranks number 4 in the state on college and career readiness. And a huge part of that reason is because the work that you're doing, just like a week ago on those planning days, focusing on areas of student need when the students are not there, and making use of that time.
And our staff is going to be assured they're going to take those results and look at that data. And the 7th and 8th grade works out well because they'll fit it right into the regular schedule, getting opportunity to work with students and actually looking at the test questions. And then the high school, each department has worked out a specific plan, made a little schedule so that all students, every student, will have a chance to really dig into the test material and see where they need to improve. So
this information, as you said, is not only shared with the students but also with the parents.
Absolutely.
And if the point that we want to pass along to you is that this is so important, that Keys money depends upon this. Also, whether your son or daughter has an opportunity for a scholarship or entry into the college or university of their choice depends upon this ACT score, and we're working toward this. That the whole goal of the Explorer and the Plan is to work toward that ACT and preparing our students for college or career readiness. So again, just want to say thank you to you and the staff for being that focused and for focusing on those needs. And I know that something that helps you guys at the high school more than anything is if Mr. Jones and the staff at the elementary school send you great product. So Mr. Jones, could you share with us what planning day was like at the elementary school?
Yeah, I don't want to repeat a lot of what Mr. Thomas said, but ours was very similar. We had our meetings, our PLC meetings. It's a great learning tool we've discovered when we learn from each other. And of course, we have fantastic faculty members. We also have some fantastic faculty members who are maybe a little less experienced. And when you have an opportunity to meet together as a group, you mentioned high school, PLCs are subject level organized. We are in the process now. It's about come to that time that we are going to, ours now are grade level oriented. But we feel like maybe we need to move towards a more vertical alignment in some areas in math and reading and all the tested areas to have like maybe a 4th through 6th grade group of reading teachers, so to speak, and to be able to share assessments that you've done in your classroom, to be able to share you both formative and summative assessments, to be able to discuss At our last PLC in October, we assigned, or the teachers assigned themselves some projects to do in the classroom and come back and report. They had the opportunity to discuss those, the outcomes of those things they tried in their classroom, what the next step could be, and they spent the morning doing that. They also you mentioned the fact that it's time now probably to move towards that more content geared PLC and have more specific groups, because it's important, particularly with new standards, to make sure we're having that continuity all the way through, and maybe even working to a collaboration with our junior high school, having a K-12 PLC group, making sure we're hitting everything we need to hit in all subject levels. Also, another big thing that we have completed, our first round, is our program reviews. I know Mr. Thomas mentioned those too. We just completed our first round. Of course, we have 3 separate meetings on our reviews during the year to update as we go along. We have the completed program reviews. As a matter of fact, they will be taken to our site-based council in the December meeting and shared with the board and at the December meeting. And we're looking at those as a group, and seeing where we can improve in each areas, in each of the areas. And in our January update, hopefully we can show some improvement and be able to document the improvement in each of those areas. Those are big things going on right now, and there's a lot of work involved, but we appreciate, and I know the high school feels the same, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to do these things on a professional development day, or to be able to do these things through release time with our teachers, because it's important, and they are really appreciative of, to our board and to you for giving us that opportunity to do that work.
I know that whenever you speak with staff, the thing that they always ask for whenever we ask the question of what do you need or what can I do to help you, usually the response is always, can you give me more time? And although we can't get them more time, what we try to do is use that time as efficiently as possible to maximize the amount of time or instructional time that students are engaged during the day here. And that's one of the things that makes this place different. And I would share that with members of the community, or anytime you have questions or concerns, I know these gentlemen would be more than happy to invite you to drop in at the schools and give you a tour of the schools, and you can see for yourself the attitude, or it's just a culture that's existed here for a long time, that if you go into either the elementary or the high school, the teachers or the staff are like, hey, come into my classroom, let me show you the exciting things going on within the classroom. And they're eager to show you what students are doing. And of course, that's a huge positive. And I know that you mentioned site-based councils. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to thank both of you. The past 2 months, the Board of Education has had the opportunities we do annually to have a joint meeting with the site-based council at the high school and also at the elementary school, and to take time to review that improvement plan at both schools, to find out if there's any particular needs at both schools, and to make sure everyone's on the same page. And that's one huge advantage for a district our size, is that not only do you know the students and know the students by name and the staff members, but that you also have that vertical alignment that Mr. Jones was talking about, that we can move, or anytime we have to implement change, and this has certainly been the year for change with the new standards that's being implemented, the new assessment that we're trying to implement, and of course both the principals have mentioned those program reviews. And I just want to say on behalf of the board, thank you for the hospitality at both the schools, for the site-based councils. And on that note, Mr. Thomas, I think you have an additional site-based council member, and you can if you would like, share that and welcome that person, and also kind of explain why we have a new member at the high school.
Well, we would like to welcome our new parent member to the PHS school-based decision-making team. That's Miss Adrienne Gearhart. She's the mother of PHS senior Mackenzie Gearhart, and that election just took place here in the last couple of weeks.
Okay, congratulations, Ms. Gearhart. I believe for the first time ever, we had over 8% minority.
Qualified, yes.
And
so
qualified. So we want to say congratulations to Ms. Gearhart and welcome her to the site-based decision-making team. And something I'd be remiss in if I didn't mention this fact, and certainly every day I'm thankful that Mr. Thomas is an administrator at that school, but I'd also like for you to share how many years you served as a site-based council member.
No, I think it was 9 or 10 years right offhand, but it was a great experience, and certainly worked with some good people, some good principals, and some good people along the way, and that's part of the rich tradition of our school, and I'm very proud to have been a part of this school district for 20-some years.
Plus, 20 plus. Yeah.
20 plus years. Well, I would like to encourage any of our parents, if you'd like to become more involved, to attend the board meetings or the site-based council meetings. You always see in business or in business classes, keep the main thing, and if you go or attend these site-based council meetings, I know this gentleman was responsible for many years as a teacher representative for beginning the meeting by reading the mission statement. And it's like from that point on, it's about student achievement. It's about what we can do to better enrich the experience that students will have, whether it's at Pikeville High School or Pikeville Elementary School. And there's a focus and attention to detail for the students' needs. And there's a sense that you'll get just within the first few minutes of each of those council meetings, realizing that they're there for one goal, and that's for the students and to improve that experience. And I'm sure you've seen many examples of
over
that.
the years, and of course just the community here is so supportive through, whether it be through the council or extracurricular thing, anything that's going on. Our school is a great school we'll be close to 100 years here pretty soon. So just a tremendous support from our community too, and our parents.
I can't say enough about that myself. We try to, always let our children know, and I think they do know that this is truly, this is a community school. We have, I think I've mentioned before that we've been, I've been in districts where there wasn't near as much community support. Our community has high expectations. Our leadership has high expectations, and it keeps that good, friendly pressure on us to keep climbing towards the top, and we really appreciate our community. They're really involved. You see them out in town; they're asking questions about the school, and I don't think you see that everywhere.
There's certainly a focus on continual improvement, and as you said, it's almost, instead of a vicious circle, a positive circle, which there is, just as Mr. Jones mentioned, there are high expectations. We have several tuition students, and if the parents are willing to commit themselves to bringing their children here within the school district and paying the tuition, they expect an outstanding product, and we try to provide an outstanding product. And if you ever have any concerns, please contact one of these gentlemen. If your son or daughter is attending one of the schools, at the elementary school, of course, Mr. Jones, and at the high school, Mr. Rowe or Mr. Thomas, I think you'll find that they try to be extremely helpful and go above and beyond. And I know that a lot of times we try to invite the public to be a part of the schools, and I know that each of you want to extend an invitation concerning lunch within the next few days. Mr. Jones, I know it's always a huge opportunity at the elementary school, and again, we'll run a shuttle for the parking and for those that would like to park down at the bus garage and all the way up to the school. We'll run a continuous shuttle during lunch for that, but you may want to share what that day would be like.
I appreciate that. Actually, before I mention that, there's two other announcements I'd like to make real quick. Our midterm, as Mr. Thomas mentioned earlier, Thursday the end of our midterm ends this Friday, the 18th. Our progress reports will go home right after Thanksgiving break. I want to make sure I mention that. And also, our Little League football season has ended. We are now signing up. We're completing sign-ups this week for Little League basketball, both boys and girls, in grades 2 through 6, and that season will begin right after Thanksgiving also. So I just wanted to mention that before. If you have any questions about Little League, Misty Prater, girls, or Mr. Israel Howard for boys, just call the school and they'll be able to help you. It's one of our biggest attended events. Probably next to the kindergarten play, our biggest attended event is our Thanksgiving dinners. We had to break that over a 2-day period. We tried it for one day. The crowd was just really large and really large. And so our Thanksgiving dinners this week will be on Wednesday the 16th. That's Wednesday, November 16th, will be for grades 1, 2, 5, and 6. And on Thursday the 17th of November will be preschool, kindergarten, 3rd, and 4th grade. And again, if you have any questions, please call the school. The price of an adult meal that day is $4. I don't think you can go anywhere in town and have the kind of meal that you can have there at our school for $4. You please call the school. We will send we send notes home. Teachers will send notes home with the times. And in my email last week, I listed the times, but it's during that specific grade level's lunch period. We have a lot of guests, and we really look forward to that time. It's a busy time, but again, that's Wednesday the 16th is grades 1, 2, 5, and 6, and Thursday the 17th is preschool, kindergarten, grades 3 and 4. And I want to mention last year, Mr. Green came up with the idea. I take the credit for it, but he came up with the idea of providing the shuttle service because we do have so many people. We think we have good parking, but when we have so many people coming, it's hard to get everyone parked there. And Mr. Green came up with the idea, offered the opportunity for us to have a shuttle service in which we're running a bus from our I guess the old bus garage now up through the fields and up to the school, around the circle and back. Had a lot of positive comments about that. I mean, many positive comments about that. And particularly with the weather that's forecasted this week, it'd be a great opportunity for that to happen. So we really appreciate that. So, again, if you're concerned about parking, please don't be. Please come in. We'll try to have the bus garage lot open. Maybe people can park there, and we'll make a loop there. We really appreciate that opportunity to get that done. So that's something we'll get lined up. And we appreciate you and also Mr. Bart Williams for that opportunity.
Mr. Thomas?
Well, we're wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving and looking forward to the break, and appreciate the board and all that you do for us. We're rolling along. We think things are going really well, and exciting time at Pikeville High School.
And I know that you mentioned basketball earlier. They're getting ready for a huge trip to Pennsylvania.
Yes, that'll be a great trip with the EQT Energy Classic. And, of course, it was here last year, and it'll be here again next year. So it's a great tournament and be a great experience for our kids.
It's something that just need to touch on or say thank you. Again, we just completed the Veterans Day recognition ceremonies, and we'd certainly be remiss if we didn't say thank you to all the men and servicewomen across the globe that each day make certain that we have an opportunity to serve the students in this school district, and we just want to say thank you. It's because of each of you that we're able to provide a report like we do at each taping on our school district and give you the progress, and that our students can attend freely. And just want to say thank you. We can't say thank you enough.
Absolutely.
So on behalf of our staff and the Board of Education, just want to say thank you. And for the holiday coming up, Thanksgiving, we've got so much to be thankful for within this school district. And I promise you that if you have a second or an opportunity to visit either one of the schools, whether it be extracurricular events, whether it's to drop in during lunch or any time that you may have at the elementary or the high school, I believe that you'll be thankful to see what's going on within the schools. On behalf of the staff there, again, they try to make every second count for your son or daughter. To them, I say thank you. We're so fortunate. I feel fortunate as a parent to have the opportunity that my children can attend a high-performing school district here in Eastern Kentucky and just say thank you. Because so many things to say thank you about, but just want to send best wishes out to each and every one of our students and their parents or guardians. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and again, wish that God just continues to bless you and Pikeville Independent Schools. Thank you.